The life cycle of all plants is characterized by an alternation of generations, and their life cycle alternates between the two generations, which are haploid gametophyte generation and also diploid sporophyte generation. The multicellular haploid gametophyte, which is also known as gamete-producing plant, is named for its production of haploid gametes by mitosis, which are egg and sperm that fuse during fertilization and form diploid zygote. Mitotic division of the zygote produce a multicellular diploid sporophyte, which is also known as spore-producing plants. Meiosis in a mature sporophyte produce haploid spores that can develop into a new haploid organism without fusing with another cell. Mitotic division of the spore cell produce a new multicellular gametophyte, and the cycle begins again. Flower is a unique angiosperm structure that is specialized for sexual reproduction. And the four kinds of floral organs are sepal, carpel, stamen, and petal. The tip of the flower stalk that bear the flower parts is known as receptacle. Stamen is a male reproductive organ of a flowering plant. The stamen consists of a filament and an anther that contains pollen sac, which is a pollen-producing structure. The male gametophyte, which is pollen grains, forms within the pollen sac of anthers. The female gametophyte, which is embryo sac, forms within the ovules in ovary. Carpel is a female reproductive organ of a flowering plant. It consists of a stigma, style, and ovary. Stigma is a landing platform for pollen grains. Style is a neck-like structure through which pollen tube grows. Ovary is an enlarged structure that contains one or more ovules. Pollen grains develop in anther. One anther consists of 4 pollen sacs, and one pollen sac consists of numerous microsporocytes. Then, each of the microsporocytes will undergo meiosis to form 4 haploid microspores, and after that, each microspore divides by mitosis to form pollen grain, which consists of a 2 cell, which are generative cell and a tube cell. If pollination takes place, tube cell produce pollen tube, while generative cell forms 2 sperms by mitosis. Embryo sac is a large cell that develops in the ovule of the flowering plant. It contains egg nuclei formed by division of the megaspore mother cell. How do embryo sac develop? First, the megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis. Then, it forms 4 haploid cells. The surviving haploid megaspore grows and undergo 3 times mitosis, producing embryo sac containing egg haploid nuclei. All the nuclei will rearrange. The first terminology is embryo sac. It is also known as female gametophyte. It is a large cell that develops in the ovule of the flowering plant. It contains egg nuclei, forming by the division of megaspore mother cell. Second, megasporangium. It produces megaspores which give rise to female gametophyte, which is ovule. Third is megasporocyte. It is a diploid cells in plant that divide by meiosis to give rise to 4 haploid megaspores. The next is megaspore. It is a haploid cell which produces from the meiosis of megasporocyte, which is also known as megaspore mother cell. Next, antipodal cells. It is the 3 haploid cells in the mature embryo sac of flowering plants that are located at the opposite of the micropyle. Next is Synergid cells. It is the true nuclei in the embryo sac of flowering plants, which is closely associated with the oosphere or egg cell to form the egg apparatus. Egg cells. It is the mature female reproductive cell in plants. Next is polar nuclei. It is the two haploid nuclei at the center of embryo sac of the flowering plant.